Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Welcome back here to Topeka, Kansas. Check out the matchup up there on your screen. The Scarecrows and the Roadrunners for these neutral site games. Prowlers, of course, playing as the Roadrunners, the Dashers as the Scarecrows. Will Wiggleman here with you on the PHP Network. Thanks so much for tuning in, staying up a little bit later with us tonight. Check out these once-in-a-lifetime games for sure, as these two teams face each other on a neutral ground as they get set to bring FPHL hockey here to Topeka. But before we get into tonight's game, let's take a look back at the last game for both of these teams. And we start with a game that was here in Topeka as the Dashers took on the Baton Rouge Zydeco. Zydeco were playing as the Roadrunners last weekend, and they swept the weekend, finishing with a 5-1 win over the Dashers behind Narek Alexanyan's hat trick, as Baton Rouge continues to try and maintain a high position in that Continental Division standings, while the Dashers continue their struggles this season. Meanwhile, the Prowlers, they fell on Friday night, but last Saturday, they took the split against the Motor City Rockers with a 5-3 win. Prowlers scoring 4 unanswered goals after trailing by 1-0 and 2-1 scores. They scored 4 unanswered. They got 4 of a possible 6 points out of the weekend. Joel Frazee with 2 goals in the third period of that game. A huge catalyst offensively for the Prowlers, as they're able to earn another victory in the Battle of I-94, a season series that they now lead 6-2. Look at the standings. Oh, things are tight there, right in the middle, as the Black Bears have a commanding lead at the top. The Dashers have a commanding lead in the basement, and the Venom lagging far behind the Rockers. But it's the Prowlers, the Wolves, and the Hat-Tricks that are tight right now. Black Bears are the only team who have reached even 65 points this season. They have 83. 5 points separate those second-place Prowlers, which means home ice advantage in the first round. And the fourth-place Hat-Tricks, fourth place, has to play in the play-in game against the number 5 team in the division. These are very important points, very important spots in the division. Right now, the Prowlers in the driver's seat, but the Hat-Tricks and the Wolves both have games in hand. Well, a former Prowler has been minding the net for much of this season for the Dashers. Oscar Walgren, a collegiate signing out of Curry College last year. He's 2-1 this season. 2-1 last season with the Prowlers with 407 goals against average and an 867 save percentage. Played in Game 2 of the Commissioner's Cup playoffs against the Carolina Thunderbirds as his 4th start as a Prowler. And then he was selected in the expansion draft by the Dashers. He was not a member of the Dashers when the Prowlers were there, as head coach Steve Iso took over, cut both him and Parker Rutherford. Prowlers beat up on Eli Bowers and Tristan Cantor, so Coach Iso comes back to Walgren and Rutherford. They're both back on the roster for this weekend's games. Prowlers getting a big piece back this weekend, or the Roadrunners. I need to make sure I'm calling them the Roadrunners all weekend, but Lucas Lockney has returned from the inactive list where he's been since November the 21st, playing with Quad City of the SPHL. Signed back today. The Prowlers actually picked him up on the way here. Mobile, Illinois, is between Port Huron and Topeka, so they were able to pick him right up on the way. He was the leader for the Prowlers in goals and points when he went inactive. A great 13 points in 8 games. That is a heck of a stat line for Lucas Lockney. I asked head coach Matt Graham about him and about this experience so far earlier on today after morning skate. And that was Prowlers head coach Matt Graham earlier today after morning skate. Talks about the big addition of Lucas Lockney back to the lineup. And Lockney slots into the spot where he was having all that success earlier on this season alongside Graham and Austin Federley. So Luke James slides down as the extra forward. Isaiah Paris is the scratch tonight. Stephen Deasy has officially been placed on the IR, retroactive to last Friday night. No other changes in the lineup, though, as Johnson stays alongside Frazee and Millette in DC's spot. Tucker Scantleberry and Jamie Bussell play with Kenny Stiles again. As the Prowlers taking the ice as the Roadrunners right now. You see them there taking the ice tonight ahead of this neutral site game. And we'll take you down to ice level for the Prowlers starters. That is the Prowler starting lineup. They are going with the Bucell, Scantleberry, and Styles line to begin up front. Ludwig Thelstrom and Adam Heinzel on defense, and Valtteri Nusiainen in between the pipes as you see the Dashers hitting the ice as the Topeka Scarecrows. Lots of number changes for the Scarecrows tonight as opposed to their normal ones as the Dashers. Prowler's only number change tonight is Lucas Lockney will be wearing his number 88 rather than his usual number 77. Again, that is just for this weekend. The Scarecrows will be beginning tonight with Quinn O'Reilly, Jawan Davis, and Justin Brozin up front. On defense will be Kim Metnin and Colton Wiasik. And in goal tonight, Parker Rutherford, so no Oscar Waldron tonight. The former Prowler does not get the start. As they announce the starters for the Scarecrows, and then we will get underway tonight from Topeka. These games have been hyped up all season long, been very, very exciting, and we are finally here. It's a packed house here at Landon Arena in the Stormont Vale Event Center. And we will take you down to ice level now for the rest of tonight's pregame ceremonies.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise and help us in joining for the presentation of the colors, the West Topeka High School Color Guard. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please remain standing and remove your caps for the singing of tonight's national anthem, brought to you by Hotel Topeka at City Center. Please welcome Victoria Lines and Serenity Spencer.
And that is tonight's national anthem from Topeka as the Roadrunners and Scarecrows get set to drop the puck this weekend. Let's take a look at tonight's starting goaltending matchup. It will be Valtteri Nusiainen and Parker Rutherford.
Your attention one more time here before we get started. If we could please all join in a moment of silence.
Pardon me, we will take one more
For
break.
the souls that were lost in the tragic airplane crash in Washington, D.C. Thank you.
A quick moment of silence for that tragic airplane crash that happened in Washington, D.C. That was a flight that was coming from Wichita, Kansas, and featured many Olympic figure skaters on it. And a terrible, terrible tragedy in Washington, D.C. yesterday. We get set for tonight's game, and now we'll give you tonight's starting goaltending matchup. It is Valtteri Nusiainen against Parker Rutherford. Nusiainen is 4-0-1 in his last 5 starts, including the Prowlers' only shutout this season in Danville against these Dashers on January 11th, a 7-0 win. He made 23 saves in that one. He played both games last weekend as well against the Motor City Rockers. Rutherford has recorded the only win in franchise history for the Dashers, released when Iso took over and signed back after that Prowlers series. He is back between the pipes tonight as we are just about set to go. At the face-off circle, Quinn O'Reilly for the Scarecrows, Jamie Bussell for the Roadrunners, and we are underway in Topeka. As the puck has been dropped, sent out by O'Reilly, and Adam Heinzel tries to put it right back in. Here is Quinn O'Reilly working from the outside, shot blocked by Heinzel, and he leaves it there for his defense partner, Ludwig Thelstrom. Puck pops up in the air, and Thelstrom able to scoop it up and head up ice. Thelstrom tried to float a pass across towards Scantleberry, knocked down, and here comes Kim Mietinen, number 77 for the Scarecrows. Brett Lockhart takes that dump and fires up the right wing side. Lockhart spun around. Joel Frazee drops it for Millette, takes the shot, saved by Rutherford, and the rebound is cleared to the boards. Connor Mullins, number 94, swept it around. This one comes out of the zone. Ben Brockway chasing it down. Last time these two teams matched up, Brockway with his first 2 pro goals as well as an assist in the 2 games in Danville. Alex Johnson dumps it in. Colton Wiasik first there. Sends it right up the wall. TJ Prexler moves it along for Blake Sewardson, the former member of the Venom. Sewardson to Zinchenko. Tried to drop it off for Prexler. Couldn't do so cleanly. Out comes Tristan Sim. Prowlers have numbers moving up. It's Federle. Had to push it down the wall as he took a bump from Wiasik. Sim pokes it back to the point, kept in by Parsons. Ends up on the near side boards, and Zinchenko bats it off the glass and all the way down. Sim grabs it before it gets to the icing line, and the Scarecrows can make some changes. We approach 2 minutes gone here in period 1. Ryan Parsons up the right wing side. On for Lucas Lockney. Right back here with the Prowlers after being inactive since November the 21st. Lockney thought about trying the Michigan, and that would have been a welcome back to Port Huron, but instead he moves over to the corner. Graham pushed it up the wall to Parsons. Takes a look, walks down Main Street. His shot off of Rutherford and out of play as Parker Rutherford was able to get that right shoulder up and make the save. That is the first shot of the game tonight, and a good opportunity for Brian Parsons. Already a couple goals for Parsons this season. As the Roadrunners get an offensive zone faceoff, it's won back by Zach Horn, number 9, former Mississippi Seawolf, now with the Scarecrows. To his side scrum behind Valtteri Nusiainen. Lucas Rothy wearing 00 tried to pull it out, couldn't do so. Instead, it's Adam Heinzel sending it up to Styles. And now Bussell, 3-on-2 for the Prowlers. Bussell forced to go along the wall by Wiasek. 6 players in there, 3 aside, trying to dig it loose, and it's Scantleberry who finally does. Spinning away from 2 Scarecrows, but had it poked off his stick. And Fisher sends it up towards Horn. Good play by Lockhart to get in the passing lane. Millette gets away from Davis. Millette in front, couldn't get it through. Now the quick shot from the line by Johnson was kicked away by Rutherford. Frazee tried to continue the cycle all the way around. Miettinen first on it. Able to get it up to Davis. And Lockhart back in his own end. Chased after by O'Reilly. Brockway, headman feed. Johnson touched it to Millette. Drops it to the ice. Millette turns back, cycles down behind the net. Johnson up high towards Sim. That one may have hopped up on Tristan Sim just a bit. He has to hustle after it with Davis, and he's able to get it to his defense partner, Parsons. Changes being made on both sides as Brian Parsons stands behind the net with the puck. Finally feeds it out to Federley. Gets the red line, soft chip in. Federley first on it, back pass in front, couldn't find a teammate, comes all the way to Parsons at the line. He walks, sends it down and around. Lockney in front, looking for Federley. His stick was tied up as he did get a touch on it, but couldn't pull it to his backhand. Sewardson slips it down towards Zinchenko. That didn't work. And the Prowlers look for a counter. Lockney with Federley 2-on-2. Lockney puts it between his own legs. Tried to one-hand it in front, but he was muscled off by Miettinen. Heinzel looking for that loose puck. And it's finally Thelstrom who settles it down in his own end. Rimmed around, Heinzel hustling after it. Spins it back to Bussell. Bussell has Scantleberry joining him off the bench. Gives it to him. Scantleberry shot stopped by Rutherford as he knocked it down. Heinzel back to the net. That was blocked by Sewardson. Thelstrom able to keep that puck alive for Port Huron and dump it back in. Keep Sewardson from getting a chance the other way. Sent all the way across. Only on Lockhart's tape, though, as the pass was too far in front of Fisher. Bounced back to Scarecrow territory. It's Nathan Emlott, number 13. One of the new signings for the Scarecrows this week. Emlott up towards Rothy. And now Scantleberry right back in. Onside, curling drag, saved by Rutherford. And Rutherford able to corral the rebound and hang on. We'll get a whistle and a face-off. Not too many whistles in this one early on. It's been a good one. No score still here in Topeka.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rear-view mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
The Eastern Michigan Small Business Network, providing resources and funding to help start or grow your business. Small business support in participating Region 6 counties. Take advantage of the network's free training and events for entrepreneurs and small business owners. The Eastern Michigan Small Business Network aims to boost your chances of success. Learn more about the network's Small Business Cohort Program. With rentable workspaces, business coaching, training, and funding opportunities, it's time to become a client of the Eastern Michigan Small Business Network.
Back here in Topeka, still no score. Prowlers with the Roadrunners with the only 3 shots of the game so far. They'll have the offensive zone face-off to Parker Rutherford's right. Fans getting loud here in Topeka. They had over 3,000 in each of the 2 games last weekend when the Zydeco were playing the role of the Roadrunners. And hopefully some more numbers like that. It looks pretty packed here from my vantage point. up in the second deck. Be Frazee and O'Reilly on this face-off, tied up. And they'll drop it again. Tonight's referees are Paul Jean and Ryan Bray, the linesman Andrew Sullivan and Jeff Marcinek. As Brockway sends it down to Johnson, Millette thought about the shot, instead goes to Lockhart, flips it on net, gloved and held by Parker Rutherford. And the Scarecrow section of the building enjoying that save. Same group out there for this face-off to Rutherford's left this time. Thank you to the Topeka Pro Hockey and the Stormont Vale Event Center crew for the use of the cameras and all these graphics, well, some of the graphics on the screen, but at least the cameras tonight, as Brazen's cross-corner dump ended up coming right back into the slot before the Roadrunners were able to rescue it. Johnson slaps it all the way down ice, and that's a quick icing against Alex Johnson and the team from Port Huron. Send it all the way down to Valtteri Nusiainen's end. Nusiainen has not seen a shot yet in this one. Scarecrows will put out Blake Sewertson's line for this face-off. Sewertson will draw against Frazee. Frazee able to win it back clean. Lockhart sends it all the way this side. Millette controls. Works his way to the middle. Saucer towards Frazee. Had it knocked off his stick. Mietnin looking for the counter. There's a long pass up. Zinchenko's shot. Rose too tall. Not sure if Nusiainen got a piece of it or not. Brockway took a hard hit there from Zinchenko, knocked to the ice. Puck still underneath them. Krexler slides it out for Zinchenko. Now Parsons behind the net, spinning away from Bohdan Zinchenko. And slides just out of the zone. Roadrunners will get a change as Sewertson dumps it right in on Nusiainen. He'll catch and drop for Parsons. Looks like that will be the first shot of the game for the Scarecrows. Here comes Federle. Puts it right in on Rutherford from the neutral zone. Wojciech takes the rebound, and he's taken into the wall by Federle. Two-a-side scrum. Now a third Roadrunner gets involved, and Federle pulls it out. Sends it across to Parsons. Down low, looking towards Lockney, just out of his reach. Lockney heading back after it. He'll chop it to the point. Parsons a dry. That one may have changed direction, but it just slipped wide. Now Lockney behind the net. Back pass in front. Saved by Rutherford. He gets the quick whistle as Tristan Sim was on the receiving end of that pass. Parker Rutherford not fooled by the backhand feed from Lucas Lockney. Good work by Tristan Sim to get himself down in deep for an opportunity sneaking in from that left point position on Rutherford. Scantleberry lined up right behind Bussell here on this face-off. Can't get back to him though. And Luke James steals the puck back in neutral ice. James turns up. Tried to give it towards Bussell, got it there. Bussell back for James, working on the left wing side. But instead, the Scarecrows take over, and O'Reilly sends it deep. Heinzel hustling after it, pushes it back up this way. Malott back in his own end, tried to make a pass across. James was right in the way. Mietnin able to recover. Malott lost his balance, pushes it up towards Davis. And then a big, heavy collision in front of the Scarecrows bench between O'Reilly and Scantleberry. Lockhart flying back in, danced around Mietnin. Mietnin got a piece of him, and the arms stay down. Lockhart's lost his helmet, stretch speed, on for Zinchenko. Zinchenko trying to dance around Bussell, and Nusiainen makes a good save as he got down to stop the shot from Bohdan Zinchenko. Loose Prowler helmet in the offensive zone. Here's Millet, shot, saved by Rutherford out at the top of his crease. And he hangs on for a whistle and a face-off. 11:03 left to go here in period number 1. Parker Rutherford has had to make some good saves here tonight. Face-off will be to his right. Shot 7-2 for the Prowlers. Off the draw, Sim goes down to Alex Johnson, one of the hottest Prowlers right now. Millet walks in, over to Parsons, one-timer, and just a bit outside. Mullins looking for the headman feed as Zinchenko was breaking the zone, but he couldn't get much on it, and the Prowlers take it back. Millet over to Parsons. Frazee works his way into the offensive end. Cycles it down towards Millet, one hands it behind the net. Johnson out towards Frazee, kicks it up to his stick. Now back to Parsons, walks the line with traffic in front. Sim gets it deep. Johnson trying to get through Mullins, kicked along, and Fisher waiting for it on the half wall, gets it out to Prexler. Now Fisher, long range shot blocked as he was falling to the ice by his own tripping. Up comes Thelstrom the other way, off for Lockney. Spins, goes up high to Graham, across, Heinzel, fires, saved by Rutherford. Now Lockney looking to turn the corner. Lockney continues to move. Heinzel in front, looking for Graham, still loose in front, and Fisher comes back to rescue it as Graham was tied up. Comes all the way through to Nusiainen. He'll play it up towards Heinzel, who took a check from Fisher. Federley up the boards, finds Lockney 1-on-2. Lockney waits for help, tried to drop it off. Instead, he'll feed it all the way across. Bussell drags all the way around the net, still on it. Hands off for Lockhart. Lockhart makes a couple of moves. Picks it up again below the goal line. Lockhart, hand off for Brockway, his defense partner. He's muscled off by Wyasek. Bussell up high to Lockhart, takes the shot and just missed wide. Wyasek took a hit from Lockney. Puck still there in the corner, fed up towards Fisher, and he just backhands it out of the zone. Both teams making some changes. Quick up to Bussell at the Scarecrows blue line. Mietnin to Brazin. Almost had his stick lifted as he fed it up to Thomas Murphy, wearing number 22 tonight. Murphy, the only Dasher / Scarecrow with a goal against the Prowlers this season. As Brazin's shot from the slot blocked by Bussell, and now Bussell couldn't pull it out of the zone. It did just come over the blue line, but he couldn't head up ice with it. Kenny Stiles back in his own end, and he almost gave it away to Murphy. Nusiainen helps it across towards Sim. Sim looking in Millet's direction, couldn't find him. Mullins sends it right back in. Nusiainen leaves it there for Parsons, and Zinchenko watching him. Millet up to Johnson with some space. Johnson a shot, fought off by Rutherford. Now Millet tried to cycle it down the wall, couldn't do it. Sim back for Parsons. Up to Johnson, across, Millet enters the zone. Looks up, back across to Johnson. Millet again, he'll take the shot, and Rutherford made the save. Diving back across. Thelstrom to Millet, tried to turn to his forehand. Now he's at the line, looking towards Frazee, kicked off his skate, and out come the Scarecrows. Sewardson sends it in, heads after it. Two Scarecrows and Adam Heinzel on that puck, and Heinzel wins the race, rimmed it up the far side. That one floated all the way across by O'Reilly, fresh off the bench. Pardon me. Frazee spinorama just slipped it past the cage. Delstrom down towards Freezy. Sewardson gets it up the boards to Zinchenko. His pass behind Rothi. He has to come back for it and goes all the way back in his own end. Plenty of action. Not too many whistles in this opening 20 minutes. 6:22 left in it. Nusiainen backhands this one up the wall. The pass back to the point was to absolutely nobody, and Austin Federley trying to take advantage. Federley just shot it wide as he tried to go far side. Lockney turns it back the other direction. Lockney chips it up to himself, outside try, and Moloch got his stick in the way, and we will take a timeout. Under 6 to go in the Munger Physical Therapy first period. Still looking for his first goal here in Topeka.
Welcome to McDonald's. How may I help you?
Can I please get a big...
What I need from you is a chicken Big Mac.
A chicken Big Mac? That's not a Big Mac.
Actually, it is.
It's not
a Big Mac.
Chicken Big Mac?
Chicken bag, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, and pickles on a sesame seed bun. Enjoy.
The chicken Big Mac.
It's not a Big Mac.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
They got the dance cam on here in Topeka. Maybe throw out some moves at home watching here on the PHP Network. Thanks so much for joining us for the first of 2 neutral site games this weekend. This is the 3rd one in Topeka this season, as the Baton Rouge Zydeco played the role of the Topeka Roadrunners last weekend, and they swept the Scarecrows / Dashers in 2 games. Prowlers hoping to do the same this weekend, but neither team has been able to find the back of the net as of yet. Off this face-off, it's Brozin skating into it, and up comes Juwan Davis. Had to float it across to Brozin on his backhand, puts it back to the point. Mullins a shot, that one too tall. Davis first on it, works up the boards. Davis turns it deep, got through Graham's stick as he tried to cut it off. Lockhart up the wall. Federley knocked it down with a high stick, so they'll blow it dead as Austin Federley the next one to touch it. And we'll get a face-off deep in Roadrunners territory. Under 5.5 to go here in period number 1. Brozin lined up right behind O'Reilly. Brozin, the captain, longtime Dasher in the first iteration of the FPHL Dashers. Their leading point getter this season with 15. This one rimmed all the way around to Skittleberry, but he had to kick it back up to his stick as it got lodged in some snow in front of the bench. There's Stiles hustling after it. Lost it, Davis, head up, shot was off of Lockhart's stick, ends up in the far corner. Davis spinning on Lockhart behind the net before Brett Lockhart takes him in. Up to Mietnin off the side of the net. Brockway took his man down, and Ben Brockway unhappy because both referees had their arms up in the air for a penalty. The first power play of the game tonight will go to the Scarecrows, as Quinn O'Reilly, the one who draws the call. So Ben Brockway to the box, and we will have a Scarecrows power play when we come back here on the PHP Network.
At Hungry Howie's, we have a flavor philosophy. It's that you deserve to mix and match the most delicious flavor you've ever had with even more of the most delicious flavor you've ever had. But how can you mix and match the most delicious flavor twice at the same time? Well, we're not in the business of logic. We're in the business of blowing your flavor-loving mind with flavor upon flavor. philosophize on that. Get any 2 items on the mix and match menu, including the 2-topping flatbread pizza for $6.99 each.
Hungry?
Howie's.
So the Scarecrows to their first power play of the game. Ben Brockway to the box for high-sticking Quinn O'Reilly. And O'Reilly, a Wichita, Kansas native. Began the season in semi-pro with the Kalkaska Battlers. Also played a couple games in Knoxville in the SBHL. This is his second game as a Dasher/Scarecrow. Did not play last weekend here in Topeka. But he draws the penalty, and the Scarecrows to the power play. Dashers last weekend 1 for 10 on the man advantage. 13th in the league at 12.2%. The Roadrunners/Prowlers PK, 8th in the league, even 81%. But just 5 for 8 last weekend against Motor City, as that was a point of struggle for them. Special teams overall a point of struggle last weekend. Here's Zinchenko walking across the line. Fed it down to Rothy. Parsons challenges him. Rothy tried to poke it in Prexler's direction. Judson able to poke it out of the zone, but the whistle blows. And that may have been knocked down by a high stick, as the faceoff will come out of the zone. We'll get the draw just outside of Prowler territory. After the puck was knocked down, Roadrunners switching up the PK. Now we'll get another false drop here. Graham and Horn, the ones scheduled to take the face-off. And now we'll get there. It's one back to Lockhart. He sends it all the way down. It's Mullins, Prexler, Zinchenko, Rothy, and Horn. This power play unit for the Scarecrows. As Graham had a broken stick is on the ice. I thought it might have been Matt Graham's. It's actually TJ Prexler's. And Prexler is headed to the box. So that will do it for the rest of this power play for the Scarecrows. I'm not sure what the call is. Maybe he tried to play that puck with the broken stick. We'll get a minute and 25 seconds of 4-on-4 time before a very brief Roadrunners power play. I'll let you know as soon as the call comes down on my penalty sheet here, as Kim Mietinen has to bring a stick over to Prexler to replace his broken one before he can drop the puck. Zinchenko will draw against Skittleberry. Number 17, Skittleberry wins it back. Sim down to Skittleberry. Gave it right back. Had some trouble with the linesman. Here comes Zinchenko on a breakaway. Zinchenko to Sewardson, a shot. Fought off by Nusiainen. Mietinen following it up. Across looking for Sewardson. And Parsons got his leg in front of that pass. And it deflected away. As that all happened because the linesman got in the way of Tristan Sim. Here comes a 2-on-1 the other direction. Millette back to Skittleberry. He hit the post with the entire net in front of him. Lockhart cuts off a pass. He drags his way back in. Oh, but he's offsides at the line. Delay of game, the official call against TJ Prexler. What action up and down, and the Prowlers' leading scorer, Tucker Skittleberry, just missed one of the most wide open nets he will ever see. And the other direction, well, Terry Nusiainen made a big save and maybe one too many passes for Kim Mietinen. He tried to go back across to Sewardson, hit Brian Parsons, and the Prowlers got out of that one. A rush that ended up starting because Tristan Sim got locked up with the linesman as he was going for the puck. Lockney will draw against Horn now as 4-on-4 continues for another 37 seconds. Lockney, floater knocked down by Lockhart, in with Federley. Slipped it down towards Federley, wraps it around, and Lockney back to the point. Thelstrom walks over to Lockhart. Circles back. Lockney works in, his shot just missed wide on the short side. Lockhart elects to go back out of the zone. Prowlers power play starting in just a few seconds here. In is Lockney, as the Roadrunners on a brief man advantage for the next 30 seconds. Federley enters the offensive zone, has James going to net. Federley to the trailer, Lockney, he scores! Welcome back, Lucas Lockney. He opens the scoring tonight, a power play goal for the Topeka Roadrunners. And for Lockney, that is his 7th goal of the season in game number 9. And why not Lucas Lockney to start off the scoring tonight? Great patience. Great patience from Austin Federley on the other side, floating it across to Lockney. One-timer, top shelf, no chance for Parker Rutherford. Runners on the board first, late here in period 1. We didn't have enough Roadrunners on the ice, and that was the reason for the delay. Brian Parsons steps out to even it up. Alex Johnson will take this face off. And the Roadrunners finally break through. As Nusiainen wraps this one up the boards. And Johnson works his way out. On with James. Johnson couldn't work through, but James picks it up, couldn't slip it through. And now Johnson up top. Thelstrom to Johnson, whips it across to Heinzel, who scored the last time the Prowlers played a neutral site game a couple years ago in Baton Rouge. Thelstrom walks the line, tried to wrist one through. That one hit off the stick of Juwan Davis, and it goes out of play. So Austin Federley and Tristan Sim picking up the assists officially on the goal by Lucas Lockney, a guy the Prowlers are happy to have back in the lineup. You see it again here. Federley, nice floater pass as he waited for Lockney to join him in the offensive zone. And a beautiful shot from Lucas Lockney. Off this face-off, puck's in the corner. Scantleberry spinning. Works up the wall, hands off for Heinzel, quickly down and around. Bussell almost lost it. Tried to float it down towards Thelstrom. Prexler works up. Prexler with a shot, he scores! TJ Prexler, who was signed yesterday, his first game as a Scarecrow / Dasher, ties it right up as he sends that one a screamer to the top of the net. Take another look as that one just goes right up high over Nusiainen's right shoulder. And Prexler already on his 3rd FPHL team this season. This is game number 8 in the Fed for TJ Prexler. Came in with a goal, and now he has his 2nd. Just like that, it is a tied hockey game. As Austin Federley touches this one through. Backdoor looking for Lockney, and they couldn't connect for Lucas Lockney, 2nd of the period. Here's Lockney again. Shot off the crossbar and out of play. As Lucas Lockney was looking to untie the score just like that. So 60 seconds after Lockney got the opening goal of the game, it's tied right up by TJ Prexler. Bogdan Zinchenko picking up the only assist on the goal by Prexler. Zinchenko now with points in 4 of his last 5 games. He's been one of the best players on this team since joining from the Danbury Hat-Tricks. Mettinen throws the body into Frazee. Now Malott towards Fisher. Sends it out, knocked off of Horn's stick by Millette. Final minute of play in the Munger Physical Therapy first period. Millette up the right wing side. Millette couldn't dance around Mettinen. Recollects the puck on the half wall. Millette tried to spin it deep, glove down. Horn up towards Rothy, passes in his skates, he recollects. Over to Fisher. Tried to feed it across, couldn't find Horn. Horn out in front looking for Rothy. He swung and missed, and then the shot from the outside handled by Nusiainen with 28.8 to go in period 1. We'll stick around for the Moses Roses smoke break first intermission report. We'll go around the Empire. Lots of action last weekend in the Empire division. We'll also take a look at some storylines from around the entire FPHL this week. Out of town scores coming your way as well, so keep it here on the PHP Network. Off the faceoff, Brosnan's shot changed direction. Nusiainen able to fight it off. Now Scantleberry slides it up for Bussell. Has help joining him, drops it, Scantleberry's shot. That one didn't get through. Brosnan trying to start a counter up the other way with the Prowlers up ice, but Davis couldn't bring in that puck. 10 seconds left in the period. Bussell fights through a check. Scantleberry to Bussell, his shot knocked down by Rutherford. And Wiasek takes a look and he'll hang on to take it to the horn. It took a while to get our first goals. Lucas Lockney and TJ Prexler provided them. It is 1-1 through 20 minutes of play. Shots on goal for the Roadrunners, 13, and for the Scarecrows, 5. And both teams getting one to hit the back of the net. Once again, coming up on the Moses Roses smoke break first intermission report. We'll take a look around the Empire, everything that's all the highlights that went on last weekend around the league, around the division. Also take a look at some storylines from around the entire FPHL this week. Out of town scores, game stats, all of that fun stuff as well. And we will do it here on the PHP Network, so don't go anywhere as the Roadrunners and the Dashers head to the locker room to chat about it. The Prowlers are celebrating 10 years in Port Huron, and you can get exclusive 10th anniversary gear at the Prowlers team store, located on the west end of McMorran Arena at every home game or online anytime at prowlersmerch.com. You can scan the QR code on your screen now to visit the online shop. Look your Poho best with gear from the Prowlers team store. Roadrunners and Scarecrows tied up at 1 goal apiece. We will take a quick timeout, and when we come back, we will have the Around the Empire edition for this week with all the highlights from the Empire division. So keep it here on the PHP Network.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PHProwlers, and Twitter at PHProwlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Grab your friends and head to Bella Bola, a local pizza spot located in the heart of downtown Port Huron. Our menu is full of timeless favorites made fresh in our on-site pizza oven. Available for pickup or delivery. Just don't fight over the last slice.
They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com.
And Leeson can be a hero and end this thing right now.
Second round for Watertown. Number 29, Tate Leeson.
Leeson's going to pick it up with a little bit more speed than what we've seen so far. Leeson skating in, goes around the side, he scores! Watertown will win it again in a shootout over McCanberry hat-trick.
On Johnson, Milam had it poked. Gave it back to Gullo right down Main Street, down in front. Gullo scores! Nick Gullo, that's the overtime winner, and the Motor City Rockers come back to stun the Port Huron Prowlers tonight.
welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Welcome back here to Topeka, Kansas, land of Chiefs fans, as the fans here getting loud for their Kansas City Chiefs, who are going to be playing in the Super Bowl coming up next weekend, I believe. But here, it is 1-1 between the Topeka Roadrunners and the Topeka Scarecrows. Will Wiggleman with you on the PHP Network. Before we continue talking about this game so far, let's take a look around the league, and we start with our league storylines. And we start with the Mississippi Seawolves releasing Sam Best. They've decided to go with a tandem of Ed Coffey and Richie Perrant. Best posting a .372 goals against average and a .901 save percentage this season. He's had some solid numbers for a Seawolves team that has struggled. So we'll see if he gets picked up by somebody else. Troy Murray from the Athens Rock Lobsters has been loaned to the South Carolina Stingrays in the ECHL. Not the first Rock Lobster to go to the Stingrays this season, but Murray, the latest, as he will get his opportunity in the ECHL. And this one involving the Dashers. Yegor Kabateyev traded from the Dashers to the Venom. 9 points in 25 games for the Dashers this season for Kabateyev, and he is now a member of HC Venom, the hockey club, picking him up earlier this week. They keep going around the league. Let's take a look at the scores around the league, and you will be shocked by this one. It is 11-4 for the Binghamton Black Bears on the Columbus River Dragons. Gavin Yates and Don Olivieri each have a hat trick and an assist. CJ Stubbs has 4 helpers. Kyle Steffen has a hat trick. So 11 goals for the Black Bears, but just 5 different goal scorers, as they chased Matt Pedersen on 4 goals on 23 shots in the first period. It didn't get much better for the River Dragons, as Sammy Bernard has played the rest of the way, as he's given up 7 goals on 30 shots. What a game for the Binghamton Black Bears, as they have just wrapped that one up at Visions Veterans Memorial Arena. Hat tricks all over the Venom right now through 40 minutes of play. They are up 6-2, outshooting the Venom 32-17. Johnny Ruiz has a couple of goals for the home side. Josh LaBelle, a goal and 3 assists. Chase Harwell, a goal and 2 helpers right now for Danbury. Moccasins up on the Motor City Rockers, a close one in Fraser through 40 minutes of play. That one 3-2 in favor of the Mocs. Kaye Koivuniemi, Kyle Heitzner, the former Rocker Declan Conway have scored for Monroe. Tristan Wells has both for the Motor City Rockers. As we keep moving along, the Zydeco are in Athens. right now, and it's the Lobsters with a 2-1 lead as they play in the second period. Narek Alexenyan, the goal for Baton Rouge. Kason Gallant and Ocean Weisblatt have scored for Athens. That one is a 2-1 game. And finally, Carolina up 1-0 on Blue Ridge through 40 minutes of play. Gus Ford, the only goal there so far. Hunter Verostic in the pipes, in between the pipes for the Bobcats, and it's Boris Babik for the Thunderbirds. Those two have done spectacular jobs so far tonight in Winston-Salem. Keep that one at just a 1-0 score. Of course, here it is 1-1, and we may be delaying the start of period 2 here, as the Zamboni did most of the ice. You can see some of the ice has been done, but not all of it. And the Zamboni ended up going off in a fashion that made me think there was some kind of mechanical issue. It didn't look good, but we may have a delayed start here to period number 2. Hopefully they can get that all figured out shortly. As neither team is up in their tunnels right now. Still a couple of minutes on the schedule until the second period is to begin, but the clock has stopped here in Landon Arena. So we will try and give you updates as we can, but it looks like we will be delaying the start of period 2 in Topeka due to some Zamboni issues. They've done about half the ice right now, and we're hoping that they can come out shortly and do the rest of it. I don't know if they have a backup Zamboni here or anything like that, but the off-ice crew is working hard to try and figure things out. As you see the fans there having a good time here in Topeka, as the FPHL will be putting a new FPHL team here at the Stormont Vale Event Center, Landon Arena. That has already been confirmed. Season tickets are on sale for this team, but still the games here this season to try and generate some excitement, some buzz. And speaking of the team that will be here next year, I will be chatting with Bob Renison, the former voice of plenty of Topeka teams in the past, and the future voice of the Topeka, whatever you want to call them, and whatever they will be called. As finally we get the Zamboni heading back out onto the ice to finish the job. They put 5 minutes up on the board. Again, 5 minutes up here on the clock as Zamboni heads back out. So that looks like it will be the timeline, although the clock has not started. But again, this seems like a great place to have an FPHL team. The most westward FPHL team is what it will be, is a league that has expanded west and west and west over these last few years. Talk about Mississippi, and then going into Louisiana last season, and then into this year. And next year they will be venturing into Kansas, even deeper into the Central Time Zone. Again, 5 minutes are up on the clock, but they have not begun. We will take a timeout here on the PHP Network, and hopefully we'll have another update for you on when we'll be able to start period number 2.
welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Well, Zamboni seems to be working at full capacity as I'm watching it go across the ice. Some of the Prowlers hanging out in their tunnel, watching and making sure the ice is done as well as it can be. And hopefully we can get period number 2 underway as soon as possible. Again, the clock has not begun here to tick down, but we will get you an idea of when period 2 will start when we have a better idea of when period 2 will start. It is 1-1 between the Roadrunners, being played by the Port Huron Prowlers, and the Scarecrows, being played by the Dashers Hockey Club. It took a while in that first period to find our first goal, and no surprise that it was Lucas Lockney back in the lineup as he took a pass from Austin Federley, one-timed it, bar down on Parker Rutherford. No chance for the Scarecrows netminder. But then, a minute later, TJ Prexler also bar down, but down on the other end, tied things right up. A couple of late goals in that frame for Lockney. His 7th of the year in game number 9 for Prexler. His 2nd of the year in game 8. This is Prexler's first game with the Dashers / Scarecrows this season. And both Lockney and Prexler have experience in Slovakia's 2nd division. Lockney is playing the top 2 leagues over in Slovakia. Prexler in the 2nd and 3rd leagues over there. That's where Prexler began this season after 5 years at Maryville University, ACHA hockey. Zamboni finishing its final lap. I wish we could show it to you here, but again, we are getting the camera from the folks here in Topeka, and this is what they have up there on their screen, so that's what we have up here on ours. But again, the Prowlers are, at least Matt Graham is, still hanging out in the tunnel. And now he'll head back to get dressed, and hopefully in a couple of minutes we will get set for period number 2. And there we go, the clock has begun, so 5 minutes to puck drop here on the PHP Network and here at Linden Arena in Stormont Vale Event Center in Topeka, Kansas. From what I've been told, the Zamboni was not an issue last weekend, so hopefully no more issues for the rest of this weekend. As the fans trying to start the wave here, let's take a look at the stats so far from this game. Prowlers 1 for 1, or Roadrunners, pardon me, 1 for 1 on their power play. Despite that power play lasting only 35 seconds, as Ben Brockway took a penalty that was evened up by Prexler 35 seconds into it, but Austin Federley, the beautiful floater pass across to Lucas Lockney. And the Prowlers certainly happy to have him back in the lineup. Another weapon, their best offensive weapon when he was here this season. Again, he was leading the Prowlers with 6 goals and 13 points when he went inactive in November. And he slots right back into the lineup in his usual spot with Federley and Graham, and he's rewarded here tonight. But the Roadrunners out shooting the Scarecrows 13-5, had the better of the play most of the way. They'll try and put some more goals up on the board here in this one. They're facing certainly a much different Dashers/Scarecrows team than the one they dominated a few weeks ago in Danville. Lots of different players there on the roster, as it's been a revolving door there for much of this season. In between the pipes has really been the only consistency, but the Prowlers did not face these netminders that are on the roster when they were in Danville. The only weekend that Oscar Walgren and Parker Rutherford were not on the Dashers roster was that weekend that the Prowlers were in Danville. As you see, Paul Jean leading his refereeing crew onto the ice, and hopefully soon to be followed by both teams. Looks like the Scarecrows are in their tunnel ready to go. The Roadrunners are moving in that direction, getting ready to go. And we will get set for period number 2 as we take a look at tonight's PHP Network trivia question. Of course, Prowlers playing this weekend as the Topeka Roadrunners. We want to know, what league did the real Topeka Roadrunners play in? So put your guesses in the comments section, and we will give you the correct answer coming up at the start of period number 3. Of course, the Roadrunners, a real team here in Landon Arena in Topeka, one of many. As you see, Brett Lockhart and the Roadrunners head back out onto the ice to begin period number 2. And now the Scarecrows will join them as well. You see Parker Rutherford leading out the Scarecrows. He made 12 saves on 13 Roadrunners shots in that opening 20 minutes. The Roadrunners are still coming out a little bit staggered, still waiting for Valtteri Nusiainen, and I see him now in the tunnel getting set to head out. Nusiainen, 4 saves on 5 shots. He wasn't very busy in that opening 20 minutes of play. You see the goal cams that we have here. And Tucker Scantleberry, one of the last Roadrunners out there for this second period. Scantleberry missed a golden opportunity to extend his team lead to 17 goals this season. We're still waiting for a couple of stragglers from the Roadrunners locker room, as we are finally just about set to get underway. Valtteri Nusiainen, you see there in his goal crease, trying to extend his point streak to 6 games. He is 4-0-1 in his last 5. Finally, we can drop the puck on period number 2. And it will be the Bussell line out there against Justin Brosnan's line, centered by Juwan Davis. Oh, Davis and Bussell. And we are finally underway in period number 2. As Davis feeds it up to Brosnan. Kicked back to Davis, has to wait for Brosnan to get back on side. And now it's working in is O'Reilly. Pardon me, that was Brosnan. There's Mietinen at the point. Sent it down off the back wall, chopped at by Brosnan as Nusiainen tried to keep it below the goal line. Davis up the wall. Mietinen tried to go on net. That hit a body on the way through. And it's touched along for Bussell. 3-on-2 for the Prowlers if they hurry. Bussell tried to float it all the way across his own man. Styles a rising shot. knocked down by Rutherford, and he lost his mask, so they'll blow it dead and get a whistle and a face-off. It was a slow developing 3-on-2, but despite Kenny Styles moving south when he made that pass to Bussell, he was able to turn back north and made it a 3-on-2 advantage for Port Huron. Unfortunately for the Roadrunners, Bussell's pass across towards Tucker Scantlebury hit Styles. Still got a good shot away, but not the backside chance they were looking for. Face off, one to the wall. Johnson sent it quickly up high. Frazee tried to send it towards the net. That's pushed out of the zone. Dumped right back around by Brockway. Frazee trying to pull it out of the corner to his side scrum as Frazee trying to muscle off Sewardson. Millette able to touch it to the line. Lockhart settles it down. Almost poked away and out of the zone by Sewardson. Dumped back in again by Brockway. Johnson over skated as he tried to pick it up off the wall. Brazen up towards Prexler. Good back check by Millette, but ends up on Prexler's tape. Shot off of Brockway's stick over top of the cage. Brockway, that's the red line. On for Johnson into the offensive zone. For Millette, couldn't bring that one in cleanly. Rothy had his pocket picked, and Frazee stopped by Rutherford. Zinchenko tosses it out. And it's chased down by Sim. Sim heads it up ice to Lockney. Makes a move. Lockney has Graham going to net. Lockney on the backhand, just pushed it wide. And then Lockney upended. Federally a drive. And Rutherford gloves it down with Graham and Lockney sitting together in the corner. Lucas Lockney tried to go right to the backhand there. He had some space on Rutherford's glove side, but unable to tuck it around. It's lined up right behind Graham, but Horn wins the faceoff. Mettinen to Fisher. Lost the handle, he'll get it back, and now he'll skate with it. Fisher tosses it in. Nusiainen punches it over to the corner. Horn has Graham to deal with, got it deep. Parsons, Federley, indirect feed, and Graham on for Lockney. One-on-one against Wyatchek. Lockney from the outside, Rutherford able to make the save. Graham throws the body on Mettinen. Lockney takes the puck. Lockney spinning on Mettinen. Hands it off. Parsons walks, fires. That one went wide with some traffic in front. Not sure if that was partially blocked on the way through. Fisher takes the loose puck, chops it blindly, only found Federley. And the stretch pass is on to Rothy. Knocked off his stick. Rothy back with it. Trying to make a short pass to Horn, and Horn able to dump it deep. Tristan Sim up to Scantlebury at the blue line. Hands off for Styles. Styles lost it, but he's able to cycle it down behind the net. Scantlebury throwing the body in there. Bussell comes up with the puck, bounces it up high to Heinzel. Walks, he blew a tire, but he got to Bussell. Now Scantlebury, backhand in front looking for Styles. That was cut off. Styles trying to spin away from Davis. Roadrunners with a good offensive zone shift here. They won't be able to continue it as the dump got past Thelstrom. Heinzel being chased. Fires it around this side. Styles keeps it moving. Bussell up ice. Plenty of Scarecrows back as Bussell goes after his own dump. Throws a check on Davis. Thelstrom retreats back to his own end. Try to feed it up. Davis over to the middle of the ice to Madak. Off the glass, kept in by Brockway. Has some space, walks in, trying to make a pass down low. Zinchenko lifted his stick on the back check, and here comes Zinchenko up ice. Scarecrows have numbers, but Zinchenko couldn't hook up with Davis on the pass. Frazee Gets the red line, gets it deep. Mettinen trying to spin away from Millette. Loose puck, Johnson. Couldn't grab it, Prexler did. On for Sewardson. Sewardson, toe drag, put it in front, saved by Nusiainen. And it's kept in by Zinchenko. Nusiainen kicked out that right pad. Lockhart up towards Millette. Icing waved off, so Mettinen will have to play it, and the Roadrunners will get a change. Mettinen watched by Frazee. Long lead pass on for Zinchenko. 2-on-1 as Rothy going to the net. Zinchenko tried to send it there, and a good play by Parsons to meet Zinchenko where he was. Mullins a shot, rising try, and Nusiainen able to punch it away, out of play. 14:25 left to go in the Hungry Howie's second period. Still tied at 1 here in Topeka.
Welcome to McDonald's. How may I help you?
Can I please get a big...
What I need from you is a chicken Big Mac.
A chicken Big Mac? That's not a Big Mac.
Actually, it is.
It's not...
A Big Mac.
Chicken Big Mac?
2 chicken patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, and pickles on a sesame seed bun. Enjoy.
The chicken Big Mac.
It's not a Big Mac.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Live where you work. Work where you play. Is your work commute making you miserable? Quit the commute. Explore hot jobs in St. Clair County paying $40,000 to $100,000 or more. Visit stclairhotjobs.com. Spend more time doing what you love. If you're not currently living in St. Clair County, or you know friends or family that moved away but are ready to come back, then visit stclairhotjobs.com to find a new job and make the move.
Oh, it's the Kiss Cam up here in Topeka. 1-1 our score, 14:25 left to go in period 2. And lots of divots here in the ice. The Roadrunners / Prowlers during morning skate, they talked about how the ice was soft when I asked them about it. And now you see guys tripping up a little bit, seemingly by themselves on both sides. And certainly that partially due to all the divots in the soft ice being made by the skates. As Nusiainen able to glove up that try from the point from Connor Mullins. Certainly something to keep an eye on. So you have the soft ice combined with the Zamboni issues between periods. Roadrunners trying to get it out. Rothy able to push it back down low. Just does slide over the blue line, or it's dumped back in. Sim on towards Federley. Moves it out, and Horn able to take over for the Scarecrows. Federley chasing after it in his own end. Left it for Parsons. Parsons up ice, and he couldn't give a clean exchange to Sim. Now Lockney scoops it up at the red line. Lockney down to his knees, sliding into the boards. Puck out of the zone. Horn trying to step around Parsons. Horn and Heinzel come together looking for that puck. Rothy, back pass out to the top to Wysack. Back off the back wall. Madot, he came in deep, slipped through a check from Heinzel as he dumped it around. Federley trying to toss it out, and he does so. Wysack up to Fisher. Both teams making changes. Here's Trey Fisher. Down the middle, his shot blocked by Parsons. They both go tumbling to the ice. Meanwhile, Davis kept it in, sent it over to the near corner. Murphy with Parsons limping back into position. Out to Bruggeman, his shot blocked by Scantleberry. Parsons trying to hustle to the bench. Scarecrows move it back up. Brazen drops it, Davis to the net. Handled by Nusiainen, and he'll gather it back in for a whistle and a face-off. And players being separated in front of Valtteri Nusiainen. Brian Parsons a little bit doubled over on the Prowler bench. He seems to be all right as he's sitting back down. I'm not sure who the training staff might be here in Topeka this weekend. Maybe the Dashers training, hopefully the Dashers training staff is here. The faceoff, Brozin had it knocked away by Scantleberry. Delayed off sides against the Scarecrows. It's sent out to Styles. Working on Mietnin. Styles to the net. That one partially blocked on the way through. Bussell tried to center. Now Styles spinning. Loose puck, delayed penalty against the Scarecrows as Bruggeman touches up. A slash has been signaled, and the first real power play for the Roadrunners will begin now as Bruggeman, the 1-2 the box. Roadrunners already 1 for 1 on the power play, and this will be their first real one that will start with a face-off in the offensive end. No face-offs during their last power play that lasted only a few seconds before Lucas Lockney scored. It was only scheduled for 35 seconds. As Bussell will come in to take it instead of Frazee. It's Bussell, Lockhart, Scantleberry, Frazee, and Millette. And now Brett Lockhart has to take it, the only defenseman on this power play unit. And somehow the Roadrunners end up with the face-off. Good work by Lockhart doing what he can as a defenseman in the face-off dot. Sent down low towards Frazee, got a touch on it, but not enough. Scarecrows looking to clear, knocked down by Lockhart, and he kept it in the zone. Here's Scantleberry, a shot blocked. And he gets the rebound back. Frazee trying to set back up. Millette to Frazee. Up high, back to Millette. They continue to play catch. As Millette turns past a couple of Scarecrows. Down towards Scantleberry. In the corner. Now up high to Lockhart. Across to Millette. Frazee takes a shot. Kick save by Rutherford. Scantleberry collects the rebound and goes around the cage. Minute 5 left on this power play for the Roadrunners. But Scantleberry lost the handle. Comes out of the zone. Scantleberry trying to spin away from Horn as the Roadrunners get some fresh bodies out there. Bussell still on the ice with his unit. Trying to circle it deep. Scarecrow's aggressive right now on the PK, trying to get that puck to clear it. And they get it out of the zone. Here's Stewartson shorthanded. Over to Horn. Horn just flips it over into the corner. Stewartson and Bussell spun to the ice, and out comes Federley flying up. Federley working on Rothy. Federley back up the boards. Final 18 seconds ticking off this Roadrunners power play. Graham down low looking towards Sim. Rothy got a stick on it. And Lucas Rothy will send it all the way down. That should take care of the rest of this Roadrunners power play. Rothy with one more clear. And that will do it. They're back to full strength. Roadrunners get credit for one shot on goal during that power play. Still 1-1. Graham sends it over to Johnson. Pass was behind him though. Davis trying to work up. Federley up towards Lockney. Makes a move off the wall, and he's able to get it up to Graham on the second effort. Lockney chips it in. Prexler around towards Mietnin. Fisher tried to chop at it, taken in by Luke James. James Mietnin now going after that puck. Mietnin fed it across towards Davis, and he dumps it around. Handoff is for Heinzel, gaining some speed. Goes up to Styles, touched along. Scarecrows look to work it back out. Oh, and that hit the old man Prexler. That was Wojasek that tried to dump it out. Here's Millette back in. Across, Johnson, the one-timer, is a little bit in front of him. He wasn't able to get it off cleanly. Millette up top to Heinzel, to the net, save by Rutherford through some traffic. Now Thelstrom a drive, that broke his stick. Thelstrom has to go to the bench. Here's Brockway stepping off the bench, 3-on-2 for the Scarecrows, but they're offsides at the line. Oh, the Scarecrows had an opportunity to take advantage of the broken stick. They go offsides at the Roadrunners line as Port Huron is bailed out. We're still tied at 1. Here Topeka will be right back.
See that? That's what 100% mozzarella looks like. What dough made daily looks like. What fresh ingredients and 8 irresistible flavored crusts on pizza cooked to perfection looks like. It's so much flavor, we don't even know if it's legal to have this much flavor. Now you can get that famous flavor for only $8.99. Wait, a large one-topping pizza for $8.99? That's a deal. It's a steal. No, it's a crime. Just $8.99 for a one-topping pizza full of our famous flavor. Now that's how we do a deal.
Hungry?
Howie's!
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rear-view mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
Still 1-1 here in Topeka. 8:48 left to go in the Hungry Howie's second period, as the Roadrunners unsuccessful on their first full-length power play of the game, only getting 1 shot on net. But the Scarecrows offsides right before that TB timeout, and a break for the Roadrunners on that play, as Ludwig Thelstrom broke his stick. It was a 3-on-1 going the other way. Ben Brockway hustled off the bench to make it a 3-on-2. That was a prime opportunity that the Roadrunners able to avoid. Here's Brockway, a shot saved by Rutherford, reaching out to his left as he slid to his right, as Brockway tried to throw it back against the grain. Right off the rush, Ben Brockway searching for his 3rd goal of the season and 3rd against this team. The face-off, it's Davis working his way out of the corner. Mullins slipped it up, and O'Reilly dumps it deep. Lockhart tried to bounce it back around. He's tied up with Davis now, and here's Brockway. Up towards Johnson, had to wait for it. He sends Frazee on his way. Frazee working on Mullins, outside try, and that one stopped by Rutherford. Just did get a piece of it. O'Reilly gets that one in from the red line. Brockway and O'Reilly came together, and they both went down to the ice and slid into the Roadrunners net, and it's like a penalty is coming up. Maybe. No penalty, pardon me. I saw Paul Jean pointing. I thought he was pointing at a player to take to the box, but no, he's pointing at where the face-off should be. My apologies. But he blew it dead just as those two players went crashing into the net. They both seem to be all right, heading back to their respective benches. And they'll blow it dead off this face-off drop. We'll try again. Between Bussell and Sewardson. Of course, Sewardson, formerly with the Venom, acquired on January the 20th. Sent down deep. Prexler, Flarja floated in front. That was blocked down, and Nusiainen had to be alert as it went off of Bussell's stick. Shot from the point, blocked. Bussell springs Scantleberry all alone. Scantleberry backhand, he scores! Chucker Scantleberry makes good on the breakaway and puts the Roadrunners back in front. And this all comes from the block shot by Jamie Bussell. Defense to offense for the Roadrunners, and Scantleberry has his team high 17th of the season. After time for the Scarecrows, deep in Roadrunners territory. A quick counter has the Birds on top. Austin Federley with a nice stick move. Backhander stopped by Rutherford, and he gathers it back in to hang on for a whistle and a face-off. It was a nice move by Scantleberry to go to the backhand. Right now they have the assists as Sim and Parsons. It should be Bussell, 46, not 16. We'll see if they correct that. Roadrunners trying to turn it up ice, looking for more. Instead, it's dumped back in their own end. Federley slips it out to Graham, lost the handle. Oh, back the other way comes Horde. Pulls up at the blue line. Scarecrows stay on side. It's knocked away. Graham, a little back pass, sends Adam Heinzel on his way with Thelstrom, the defenseman. And Heinzel's shot collected by Rutherford. Thelstrom and Rothy go into the net together. And now Lockney joining in. Lockney and Rothy have each other tied up. And now Madot gave Heinzel a shove away from that scrum. And how about that? The Prowlers just had both of their defensemen on the rush. And now at center, you see Millette and Rothy having to be separated. Not sure if any penalties will come out of this. Neither penalty box door is open. Things heating up a little bit, and it looks like everybody will be back on benches and nobody in the sin bins. So let them play. Roadrunners up on shots in this period, 11-5, 24-10 for the game. They have the only goal of the period. This has been a quick second period. Frazee and Davis get set to draw. And now the door is open. The puck is down, the door is open down behind Rutherford. And it looks like they're going to shovel something up. Snow, blood, something along those lines. As both teams are heading over to their benches. And now we should be back ready to go momentarily. 6:44 left to go in the Hungry Howie's second period. But now they're bringing the scraper out there. Blood is really in deep there in the ice. Not sure who it belongs to, as there were plenty of guys involved in that scrum. Again, shots 11-5 for the Roadrunners in this period, 13-5 for the Roadrunners in the first, as you see their bench there. You can bid on those jerseys, by the way, the Roadrunners jerseys. That auction available on Dash, and the link is on the Port Huron Prowlers / Topeka Roadrunners social media pages, so go check those out and bid on your favorite Prowler / Roadrunners jersey. You can bring it back to Port Huron with you if you want, or wherever you are, they'll send it to you. So be sure to bid on those cool, one-of-a-kind jerseys. As it looks like we have more blood now in the neutral zone that has to be cleaned up. Roadrunners up by a score of 2-1 right now, and the high-end talent for the Roadrunners coming up large, as it is Scantleberry and Lockney. Scantleberry, the leading scorer for the Prowlers this season, and of course Lucas Lockney, who returned to the active list earlier today. A guy the Prowlers actually picked up on the way from Mobile, Illinois. Scantleberry up to 34 points now in 30. This is game number 32 for him. He had 38 in 40 games last year as a Prowler. As finally we are all set to go. Just about. Parker Rutherford's right. Maybe one last scrape job down in the Scarecrows' end. Roadrunners have the Frazee line out there. Scarecrows with Jawan Davis's line. And finally, we are all set to go. They continue this one, and just as I was saying that this has been a quick second period, the lengthy delay is finally over. Back to hockey. As Brockway steps up to keep it alive momentarily, Davis able to knock it down. Davis went tumbling to the ice. And Lockhart up to Frazee. Left wing side. And to spin away from a check, Mullins takes over. Connor Mullins starts flying up ice. Long pass on for Murphy. Now Brockway leaves it in the corner for Lockhart, who pokes it along. Johnson able to bounce it off the boards. Bruggeman tries to send it back in. Didn't get very far with it as Johnson stood him up. And now Johnson able to steal it from Davis. Bruggeman takes it right back. Brosnan at the red line. Quickly across to Davis. And offsides are the Scarecrows as Davis, I think, shot that one into the net after the whistle. As the offside was called just a second late there. Jawan Davis sent it right on net after Nusiainen had already heard the whistle and ended up behind him, no goal. We'll continue play with a face-off right in front of the Scarecrows bench. Miettinen hits the red line, but there's a wall of Roadrunners at the blue, and Miettinen's pass goes awry. Sims spinning away from Sewardson. Drops it off for Parsons. Parsons washed by Zinchenko as the Roadrunners begin their breakout. Parsons, indirect feed, Bussell drops the shoulder, gets the net. Rutherford able to make the save. It rode along the top of the cage before dropping on the other side. Zinchenko backhands this one out. Sim wins the foot race to it. Prexler watching him. And it's Parsons to Scantleberry. Puck is loose now. Scantleberry able to spin it out of the zone. Not sure who lost the handle there. But Bruggeman sends it deep. Before he had to deal with Scantleberry. Sent down towards Prexler. Parsons takes him into the corner boards. Prexler continuing to push. Gets it down to Zinchenko. And Sewardson spins away from Sim. Sewardson outside try. Nusiainen got a piece. Ends up on the near side half wall. Chopped at by Scantleberry. Out of play. And they're going to send Tucker Scantleberry to the penalty box for delay of game. So a Scarecrows power play is coming up when we come back with the Roadrunners leading by 1 here on the PHP Network.
Explore the 140 miles of stunning shoreline along Lake Huron. That is Michigan's Thumb Coast. Discover charming coastal towns, serene beaches, and endless outdoor adventures. Stay at cozy hotels, paddle through pristine blue waters, and hit the fairways along breathtaking views. Plan your perfect getaway at bluewater.org.
Grab your friends and head to Bella Bola, a local pizza spot located in the heart of downtown Port Huron. Our menu is full of timeless favorites made fresh in our on-site pizza oven. Available for pickup or delivery. Just don't fight over the last slice.
Back here in Topeka, it is a Scarecrows power play as Tucker Scantleberry is in the box. 2 minutes for delay of game. And a chance for the Scarecrows to go get this game back tied. Their first power play only lasted 35 seconds before TJ Prexler took a delay of game penalty that evened things up. Prexler's out there on the ice now with Horn-Zinchenko, Mullins, and Rothy. Off the face-off, it's Lockhart grabbing it, and he'll send it all the way down, splitting the Scarecrows defenseman at the blue line. Well, Mullins hangs out behind the net. Watched by Bussell, will go to the right wing to Prexler. Across looking for Zinchenko, comes all the way to Nusiainen, and he'll try and clear it himself. That puck was on edge, almost went over the glass, but it didn't. Here's Bussell, lost it to Mullins as he tried to drop the shoulder and head to the net. Zinchenko, he gave it up, and Parsons sends it out of the zone. Rothy up towards Zinchenko, that puck was hopping, and ends up on Parsons' tape. He gets it out. Minute 10 left in this Scarecrows power play. Graham harassing Rothy. Now Prexler up ice with it. Prexler chips it in, heads after it. Parsons beats him there. Reggie Millette turns and fires it off of Rothy at the blue line. Johnson able to get it out this time. And Bussell took a hit from Rothy as he chipped it deep. Now Bussell going after Rothy. I think Jamie Bussell may have taken a penalty here as Parsons touches up. And it looks like a two-man advantage coming for the Topeka Scarecrows for the next 40 seconds as Jamie Bussell will head to the penalty box. He took exception to that hit. And a cross-check has been signaled on Jamie Bussell. So 40 seconds of 5-on-3 time, and then a minute 20 of 5-on-4 time scheduled for the Scarecrows. Matt Graham and Thomas Murphy get set for the face-off, although they still have to put the time up on the board. And now we're all set to go. As Scarecrows switch up the unit. Murphy able to win the face-off back, and it's Davis to Fisher. Murphy set up right in front of Valtteri Nusiainen. Miettinen down towards Davis, couldn't bring in that pass. Federley and Davis now battling for it. Davis gets it back up high. Miettinen across to Brozin. Down to Fisher. Brozin. Fisher again, walks the goal line, trying to make a pass across. Good stick by Nusiainen. Miettinen to Davis. Didn't bring it in cleanly. Davis forced back to the blue line. Graham gets it out of the zone. Graham trying to move up with it. Lost his stick. Tied up on the blue line. Scantleberry's out of the box. Here come the Scarecrows with numbers. Murphy decides not to shoot from the slot. And it'll go up high to Miettinen. So Scantleberry out of the box. It's 5-on-4. Brozin across. Fisher the one-timer. He misfired. Johnson on his backhand launches it all the way down. And a breath out for the Roadrunners penalty kills. They get it down nice. 51 seconds left in the penalty to Bussell. Zinchenko gets the Roadrunner blue line. It's Fisher now, sliding it all the way across. Rothy's back in front, saved by Nusiainen, and the puck sent back out to the blue line. Fisher across. Horn, one-timer from the line, blocked by a sliding Scantleberry. That was Mullins who has it again. Mullins got it back to Rothy. Across. Mullins again, shot got through, and a save by Nusiainen, and the rebound kicked past Trey Fisher. James takes the puck and he sends it all the way down. 10 seconds left on the penalty to Bussell. That should take care of it. Great block by Tucker Scantleberry up high. Nusiainen made a couple of good plays as well in between the pipes. And the Roadrunners survive, their lead still intact. This one's iced by the Scarecrows. A minute 7 left to go in the Hungry Howie's second period, and we will have an offensive zone face-off for the Roadrunners. Coming up in the second intermission, Bob Renison, the future voice of the Topeka FPHL franchise, former voice of a number of Topeka hockey teams. He'll join me here in the booth. Also, the Prowlers' upcoming schedule and much more on the Moses Roses Smoke Break. Thelstrom a drive, kick save by Rutherford. It comes out to Horn. Gets it out of the zone. O'Reilly sends it deep. That puck rolling along the boards and settled down by Thelstrom. Thelstrom tried to make a pass up. That hit a stick. Davis hustles to keep it in the zone. Couldn't get it deep though. Now Davis looking towards O'Reilly, taken away. Millette up the left wing. Millette across. Thelstrom got a touch on it, but he couldn't put it on net. That's a tough one-timer from that side for the right-handed Thelstrom. And now we have players tied up in the corner. O'Reilly and Thelstrom. O'Reilly throwing punches at Thelstrom. Thelstrom, I don't think, was interested in dropping the mitts. He still had his stick in his hand. O'Reilly tossed the gloves. Quinn O'Reilly, the Wichita, Kansas native, getting some applause from the fans as he heads off to the locker room. Ludwig Thelstrom is being escorted to the penalty box. So we'll see what we have here. .7 seconds left in this period. And once again, Bob Renison, who's called hockey a long time here in Topeka, he will join me up in the broadcast booth between periods to talk all things Topeka hockey, and also we'll get to meet him as well. For anyone looking forward to the future Topeka franchise, you get to meet him for maybe the first time. That is exciting. Veteran broadcaster Bob Renison. We'll also take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Port Huron Prowlers, as well as out-of-town scores and the game stats. It's all coming up on the second Moses Roses Smoke Break of the evening. We will let you know exactly what the penalties are when they come down. Right now, 5 minutes are up on the clock for O'Reilly, so maybe he just got the 5 for fighting, and then he will have to sit for that full 5. We'll see what Thelstrom got, because I don't see anything up there for him. It looks like the Roadrunners are setting up for a power play, so maybe Thelstrom and O'Reilly each get matching roughing minors, and then O'Reilly gets the 5 for fighting. And that looks to be indeed the case. A huge opportunity for the Roadrunners coming up. They have 26.7 seconds left to go in this period, and then the rest of it will be played in the third. It's on the back of the net. Paul Jean blows it dead. 19.8 up here on the clock. And the Roadrunners will be able to score as many goals as they want on this power play, because it is a 5-minute major. Up this face-off. Worked back to Federley at the point. Down the wall to Lockney. Works in, sent it across, looking for Johnson. That was partially impeded. Federley with 10. Tried to go over to Lockney. That one knocked away by Davis. Back in, Lockney, hands off for Sim, across Johnson, couldn't get to a shooting position as time expires. So the Roadrunners will have 4 minutes and 34 seconds of power play time to work with when we come back for period number 3. But for period number 2, it is 2-1 on the strength of a Tucker Scantleberry goal, as Quinn O'Reilly has gotten a 5 and a 10. So O'Reilly's done for the night. He gets the aggressor, game misconduct, and the 5 for fighting. Once again, coming up on the Moses Roses Smoke Break, second intermission report. Bob Renison is up here with me, and Look forward to speaking with him, and we will talk all about the new Topeka franchise. We'll also get to hear his resume and why he's qualified to talk about this new Topeka franchise coming up these next few years. We'll also look at the Port Huron Prowlers upcoming schedule, the out-of-town scoreboard, all coming your way. So keep it here on the PHP Network for all your second intermission coverage as the Topeka Roadrunners have the 2-1 lead. Well, secure your seats for the Prowlers' next home game when they return to their normal identity. That will be coming up on Friday, February the 7th, with puck drop at McMorran Place scheduled for 7:05 p.m. Tickets are available online at phprowlers.com/tickets, by phone at 810-985-6166, or by scanning the QR code on your screen now. That's online at phprowlers.com/tickets, by phone at 810-985-6166, or scan the QR code on your screen now to be part of the Port Huron Prowlers 10th anniversary season. We'll see if this new Topeka franchise can be in the league for 10 seasons. Certainly that would be a massive success, but next year is year one, and we'll be talking to the voice of that future Topeka franchise when we come back, so keep it here on the PHP Network.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Grab your friends and head to Bella Bola, a local pizza spot located in the heart of downtown Port Huron. Our menu is full of timeless favorites made fresh in our on-site pizza oven. Available for pickup or delivery. Just don't fight over the last slice.
They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com.
We're back here at the Stormont Vale Event Center, and the Prowlers dressing as the Roadrunners tonight, and the Dashers dressing as the Scarecrows tonight. Through 40 minutes, it's the Roadrunners with a 2-1 lead. I'm alongside Bob Renison, who will be the future voice of the new Topeka franchise and the former voice of a number of Kansas pro and junior hockey franchises. Bob, welcome in. You were telling me that you have a story about Quinn O'Reilly, who just got thrown out of the game.
Oh, yes. Quinn O'Reilly is the son of Sean O'Reilly. The first professional hockey team I ever broadcast for was the Wichita Thunder. They were in the Central Hockey League, now in the ECHL. And Sean O'Reilly's rookie year was my first year broadcasting Thunder hockey. His first game, he got into a fight, and his team set a CHL record. They tied two records. One, the most goals in a game, 16, and the other, most goals in a period. In period 2, they lit the lamp 8 times.
Wow.
But Sean, who is from Stratford, Ontario, made a home in Wichita after he retired, and he is now the manager of Wichita Ice Center. That's where the ECHL team, the Thunder, practices, and it's been a tough week for Sean because of the tragedy with a mid-air collision in Washington, D.C. There were some figure skaters, and they were flying from Wichita to Washington, and Sean got to visit with some of them in the last week as they were working on training for figure skating at Wichita Ice Center. But as far as that center goes, they are very blessed to have Sean O'Reilly. And Sean, well, he is someone very popular in the air capital of the world, Wichita, Kansas. And I saw him tonight for the first time in a long time. Looks just like he did when he wore number 6 for the Thunder and went down, blocked some shots, scored a goal once in a while, was not afraid to drop the gloves.
Oh, like father, like son, I guess.
Yes, exactly. And his brother, the brother of Quinn, Ian, he is a high school senior, and he could be playing baseball at a university next year.
Well, they say hockey's a small world, and how about this right here, Quinn, here playing in Topeka. But we want to learn more about you. Tell us about all the hockey you've been doing, and guess why you're qualified to talk about this Topeka team coming up next season.
Oh my gosh, I always wanted to broadcast hockey. The first games I ever attended in person were the old American Royal Arena in Kansas City, and Kansas City had the Blues top affiliate in the CHL that was prior to the last CHL. First game I saw at that building was exactly a month after Michel Floss of the Kansas City Blues became the first goalie in pro hockey to score a goal. I wanted to watch him play that night, but he was the backup to Gary Edwards, who went on to play for the Los Angeles Kings. And then Kansas City had an NHL team for 2 seasons, and they trained at the McMorran Arena in Port Huron, Michigan.
How about that? Port Huron connections to the NHL in Kansas. That's unbelievable. I never would have thought there'd be that kind of connection.
Oh my gosh. And well, the Kansas City Scouts, back then, the NHL was competing with the World Hockey Association. And when new teams came into the NHL, they were given players that were well down the line as far as the number 1 line, number 2 line, and so they didn't get the best players around. Also remember the WHA was picking players away from the NHL, and so the Kansas City Scouts only won 15 games. They had an 80-game schedule in the NHL, but the team that entered the National Hockey League the same season, the Washington Capitals.
Oh, I remember they were bad. I know they were bad.
8 wins, 67 losses, and 5 ties. They were one of 2 teams that season the Scouts had winning records against. The Scouts went 3-1 against them, and the Scouts went 2-1-1 against the California Golden Seals.
The Golden Seals. Wow.
Way before your time.
Wait, a little bit.
Yes.
So what are the teams that you have called here in Topeka?
Okay, in Topeka, the Scarecrows, when they were in the Central Hockey League, and then the Topeka Tarantulas, a team that lasted just one season, and they only won 16 out of 60 games that season, lost their final 8 of the campaign. I remember their final 2 wins was in Albuquerque, New Mexico, against the New Mexico Scorpions, and a lot of Topekans got to watch that game because we had a deal with Amtrak, and there was a special deal where the fans could board Amtrak in Topeka and get off of the train in Albuquerque, and it was so much fun seeing all the fans there.
That's awesome. So how excited are you to have this team back here coming up next year, and then how much have you been involved in bringing this team back?
Oh my gosh, I got involved once more. I call it a divine intervention. There were a couple of gentlemen who announced they were going to put a team in Topeka 2 years ago, and it turned out that they hadn't made the right connections. But after this happened, I called Don Kernan, the commissioner of the league, and told him that it really could work here. Don is a man who listens to people and listens to their ideas. So this led to Don and Barry Soskin and Don Lewis talking with Kellen Seitz and also talking to the county commissioners. This building is owned by Shawnee County, and talking with other people, and so many fans in Topeka miss pro hockey. There hasn't been a team here in 5 years, and that was a junior team, the Topeka Pilots. But the whole community, as you can see, has come together, and once they get a team in Topeka, the crowds will be bigger than we have tonight.
I've seen Scarecrows, Roadrunners, Pilots jerseys all around here, so there's certainly a great need for hockey here, and glad that it's going to be filled next year. Bob, thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to hearing you next season.
Will, thank you so much, and I cannot wait to get to the former training camp home of the Kansas City Scouts, the McMorran Arena. I'm looking forward to that.
Well, thank you so much. We'll be right back here on the PHP Network with the rest of this intermission report.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Welcome back to Topeka. Great interview with Bob Renison, who will be the voice of the Topeka, maybe the Roadrunners, if the Roadrunners are able to sweep all 4 games, as the Prowlers will try and do that. If they can win both this weekend, the Roadrunners will sweep the 4-game exhibition, well, not exhibition, but neutral site series. Maybe they'll call the Roadrunners. Maybe they'll come up with something else. He talked about the Topeka Tarantulas. He said they only lasted for one season and they were bad. I know that's a recipe for a team that definitely had really cool jerseys. So I'm going to have to look up those jerseys and maybe see if they are available on eBay somewhere after this game. It's 2-1 for the Roadrunners. Before we continue talking about this one, as the lights are down here in Topeka, take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Port Huron Prowlers. And of course, tomorrow night they will be finishing up the neutral site games. They'll face the Dashers/Scarecrows again. That's another 8:30 Eastern puck drop here at Landon Arena. And then next week they return home, start of a 4-game homestand against the Carolina Thunderbirds. And the Saturday game will be Cortiva Family Night, so be sure to come out for that one. And non-perishable food donations will be accepted next Saturday night at McMorran Place. If you bring a non-perishable food donation, you can be entered to win a team-signed Prowlers jersey. So bring those non-perishable food items to McMorran Place on Corteva Family Night next Saturday night against the Carolina Thunderbirds. Just minutes away from the teams hitting the ice again here in Topeka for period 3. It's been a tight one. There's some not quite tight games around the FPHL tonight. Oh my goodness, in Binghamton. What happened to the Columbus River Dragons tonight? 11-4, the Black Bears dismantled them. Don Olivieri, Gavin Yates, and Kyle Steffen with a hat trick apiece. Olivieri and Yates adding assists to their hat tricks. What a night for the defending champs, knocking the Dragons down a few pegs. And they'll be rematching again tomorrow night. We'll see if we get a different result then. Another big win belonged to the Danbury hat tricks as Josh LaBelle had a goal and 4 assists. Johnny Ruiz, 2 goals and a helper. They crushed the Venom 7-2 and make things even tighter in the Empire Division standings in that 3-2-3-4 spot as they are breathing down the Watertown Wolves next. Moccasins held on to their 3-2 lead after a scoreless third period in Fraser, and they take the victory over the Motor City Rockers tonight. Only one other game is still in action, and it is late in the third as the Zydeco trail the Rock Lobsters 3-1 in Athens. Final minutes of that one, Carter Shinkarik has given the Lobsters a little bit of insurance as, again, they continue to play in period number 3 in Athens. And finally, Gus Ford scored the only goal in Wytheville at the Hitachi Energy Arena. Boris Babik made 28 saves. Hunter Vorostik had 32 in a losing effort. Thunderbirds with a 1-0 victory over the Blue Ridge Bobcats. Of course, here it is 2-1 for the Prowlers/Roadrunners. As we take a look at the stats from this game right now, Roadrunners up on shots 25-12 at the moment through 40 minutes of play. 1 for 2 on the power play. Both teams have had 2-man advantages, while the Topeka Scarecrows, have had 3. They are 0 for 3. The Roadrunners are on their third power play right now. They have 4 minutes and 34 seconds to work with of the major penalty to Quinn O'Reilly. And O'Reilly is the reason for 17 of those 21 Dashers/Scarecrows penalty minutes, as he got 2 minutes for roughing, 5 for fighting, and a 10-minute aggressor game misconduct. So he's done for the night. Ludwig Thelstrom got a matching 2-minute roughing minor, so he has to sit in the box for just a little bit for the start of period 2. And a huge opportunity for the Roadrunners on their third power play of the night. Plenty of time to set things up and get themselves some cushion here As the Roadrunners hit the ice, we take a look at our PHP Network trivia question once again. I saw some correct answers in the chat for this one. As you see them there, the Prowlers playing as the Roadrunners this season. We want to know, what league did the Topeka Roadrunners play in? And the correct answer is the NAHL. They were an NAHL franchise from 2007 to 2018, then became the Topeka Pilots from 2018 to 2020, still in the NAHL. And then they became the Amarillo Wranglers, moved to Amarillo, Texas, and that's what they are today, the Amarillo Wranglers. And before coming to Topeka, they were the Lone Star Cavalry and the Santa Fe Roadrunners. So it's a franchise that's done plenty of moving around, and a franchise that spent 13 years here in Topeka, 11 as the Roadrunners. See Parker Rutherford there in his goal crease, getting set for the start of period 3, and he might be under siege to start with a 4-minute and 34-second power play for the Roadrunners. Rutherford has stopped 23 of 25 runners' shots tonight, while Valtteri Nusiainen, his opposite down at the other end, has stopped 11 of 12 Scarecrows shots. Roadrunners starting with the power play unit of Bussell, Frazee, Lockhart, Scantleberry, and Millette. As Bussell and Sewardson get set to draw, they begin the lengthy rest of this power play. And we're underway in the Scholes Family McDonald's third period. Millette tripped up along the boards. He's looking for a penalty. He won't get one. He and Davis went colliding together. They're back up on their skates and both seem to be all right. Bussell dumps this one in. Bussell and Miettinen tied up in the corner. Frazee comes in to help out. Pushed around to the far side. Lockhart pinches in to keep it alive. Miettinen couldn't clear. Rothi will grab it, and he was able to clear it all the way down. Nusiainen reverses back this way to Lockhart. On for Scantleberry. Millette enters the zone, lost the handle, and it's fired right back down ice, and Nusiainen had to be careful as that puck was bouncing his way. Roadrunners switching up the power play unit, still 3.5 minutes to go in the major penalty. It is being served by Corey Mell, number 2. Federley over to Lockney, tried to float it across, pushed back out by Mullins. Roadrunners have not been able to get anything set up. Here comes Federley trying to change that. Takes the shot, knocked down. Graham on the rebound, and Rutherford, I think, got a piece of that rebound. Federley, indirect pass. Comes to Lockney, pushed up against the wall. Johnson sends it down to Graham. He gives it right back. Johnson walks towards the net. Now goes up high towards Federley, and that puck hit a divot, and it bounced up on Alex Johnson, who looks skyward. 2:35 left on this Roadrunners power play as Lockney buzzes up ice. Makes a move around Sewardson. Hands off for Scantleberry. Fires it across. Bussell chasing after it. Modot able to force Bussell into a turnover. Sewardson gets it out as the Roadrunners with another change. They've not been able to set up really at all on this power play in this third period. Now Lockhart overskated the puck, came back for it. And Lockhart, a couple of good moves, gets into the offensive zone, wraps it all the way around, and comes to Scantleberry on the half wall. Plays it away from Sewardson. He fanned on it. And now Davis took a bump from Scantleberry. And Scantleberry works back in on Modot. Scantleberry drops the shoulder to the net, and Rutherford stops him there. Davis able to toss it out. Roadrunners have had 2 shots in this third period on this power play, but neither of them have come off of setting up the power play. Frazee tried to send it deep. That didn't work. And this one launched out of the zone. Kicks back into the Scarecrows end. Roadrunners have to touch up. Rothy goes all the way down ice. Minute 10 left on the power play for the Roadrunners. And despite the power play goal tonight, they have not had much success on the man advantage. They haven't been able to set things up really at all the way they want to. Most of their shots on the power play tonight have come off the rush. There's Federley on a rush himself. And the Scarecrows able to get up towards Sewardson. Couldn't pull it in cleanly or else he would have had a rush the other way shorthanded. Touched back over for Johnson into the offensive end as Lockney was knocked down behind the play. He's back to his skates and into the offensive zone. Johnson down to Graham behind the net. Looks for Lockney, one-timer, he just pushed it wide. Comes all the way back around to Lockney. Tried to center. Now he gets it to Johnson. Has Sim, tried to feed it there. And it went off Mietinen's skate. And now Federley trying to keep Zinchenko from going up by shorthanded. And he's just able to. Final seconds tick off this Roadrunners power play. So they do not convert on that 5-minute opportunity. It's still a 2-1 lead. Back to 5-on-5 as Scantlebury leaves it there for Lockhart. 3 shots on the man advantage total for the Roadrunners. Scantlebury flies in all the way around, tried the wrap, and Rutherford able to cut it off. Stiles spins away in the corner over to Bussell. Bussell lost his balance. He was able to center, but nobody home there for the Prowlers in the slot. Lockhart in the neutral zone. Gives it up to Stiles. Tried to dump it in, hit his own man, Scantlebury. Scantlebury pulls up and goes back to the line. Brockway wristed it towards the net, blocked by Rothy. This one clamped off the glass, but gloved down. Brockway gets it back deep. Port Huron in the midst of a change. Wysek across the far side to Madot. Madot gave it away to Johnson. Alex Johnson working, waiting for help off the bench. Johnson up high to Millette. Leaves it for Parsons. Wrister, glove down by Parker Rutherford, and he'll hang on for a whistle and a face-off. First whistle of period 3 comes 6 minutes in, and we'll take a break here on the PHP Network.
At Hungry Howie's, we have a flavor philosophy. It's that you deserve to mix and match the most delicious flavor you've ever had with even more of the most delicious flavor you've ever had. But how can you mix and match the most delicious flavor twice at the same time? Well, we're not in the business of logic. We're in the business of blowing your flavor-loving mind with flavor upon flavor. Philosophize on that. Get any 2 items on the mix and match menu, including the 2-topping flatbread pizza for $6.99 each.
Hungry?
Howie's!
Back here in Topeka, the Roadrunners blow an opportunity on a long power play to begin period 3. They're still up by just 1. 2-1 here on the Scarecrows. Get an offensive zone face-off here. It's Parker Rutherford's left. Rutherford has already made 4 stops in this 3rd frame. Terry Nuciana has played the puck a few times, but has not been credited with a save so far in the 3rd. Off the faceoff, Johnson gets it to the point. Thelstrom down to Millette. Frazee, catch and shoot, and it goes up too tall. Heinzel couldn't keep that one in. Roadrunners have to touch up. Here comes Mullins. Rink wide feed, left behind by Murphy, but Davis backs him up. Davis knocked down by Heinzel. Back the other way come the Prowlers. Millette has Frazee try to get it to him. Just a little bit too far behind him. There's just a little bit too much touch on it. Not enough speed on that pass from Millette. Murphy back in, surrounded. Davis pulls it out of the corner. In front looking for Zinchenko. The pass may have handcuffed him just a bit. Bohdan Zinchenko was all alone in front of Valtteri Nusiainen. Thelstrom able to block the dump attempt. Here come the Roadrunners the other way. Millette had it knocked off his stick. Wysack couldn't get it up to Zinchenko. Now he gets it there. Zinchenko, a blind pass, ends up on Parsons' tape. Kicked along by Millette, and it goes right past Millette. Zinchenko hands it off. Prexler flying up the left wing. Prexler ridden off by Graham. Lockney takes a look, and now he starts skating. Gives it over to Graham. 3-on-3 as they hit the line. Federley gets it back behind the net. Graham tried to center. He had Sims sneaking in, but didn't get all the way through. Parsons just does that, keep that one in on the line. Pops out towards the side of the net, and Rutherford able to find it and cover up. I think Graham was looking towards Lockney, who was in that far side corner. And it ended up right in front of Rutherford. He covers up to stop play with 12:10 to go in period 3. A 2-1 lead for the Topeka Roadrunners. Tucker Scantleberry out there right now, lined up right behind Jamie Bussell. He is the game-winning goal if things stand. Lockhart keeps it in. Sends it down and around towards James. Keeps it moving. Bussell, head up, goes to Lockhart sneaking down the wall. Couldn't center. Lockhart still on the puck. Left it behind. James has it. Now Scantleberry. Scantleberry right in tight. Couple of tries. And Rutherford able to cover up as Scantleberry faked a pass back to the top. And then he dropped the shoulder and just headed right to the net. Had to make a couple of saves, did Parker Rutherford. All Roadrunners so far in this third period, thanks in part to that lengthy power play. Parker Rutherford has kept the Scarecrows in it. Bussell and Davis drop the puck on this face-off. Lockhart at the line. Plays it off the back wall. Bussell cycles it down to James. He and Davis cancel out. Brosnan and James come together on the corner boards. Now Lockhart couldn't handle that one cleanly, but he kept it in the zone. Bussell finds it again. Down deep. Mettinen having some trouble with Scantleberry. And Davis comes in to take the puck. Davis over to Mettinen. Trying to make a pass across to Murphy. He dumps it in before taking a hit from Ben Brockway. Rimmed up towards Johnson. He skates up, his team in the midst of a change, so Johnson all by himself, try and waste some time. Johnson got it up to Thelstrom, fresh off the bench. Looking to go deep, Brosnan able to cut it off. He lofts this one high and down ice. Sewertson hustling after it. Heinzel beats him there. They end up tying up, and Nusiainen will cover it up for a whistle and a face-off. 10:35 left to go in period 3. Shot 6-0 for the Roadrunners in this frame. Parker Rutherford has stopped all 6. And as has been said so many times before this season for Dashers games, Parker Rutherford keeping his team in it despite a significant shot disparity, 32-12 right now for the game. Prexler turned it off the far corner boards, and Johnson sends it back to Heinzel. Thelstrom looks to move up. On for Johnson, working on Mullins. Johnson goes to the outside, towards the net. Millette couldn't get a touch on it. Thelstrom softly back deep. Mettinen chips it around Johnson. Prexler Up towards Miettinen, that bounced away from him. Bouncing pucks, certainly a theme in this game. Now Sigurdsson in front, couldn't get a shot away. I think he tried to outweight Nusiainen, and then Ludwig Thelstrom was able to lift his stick as the Scarecrows got a steal in the Roadrunners' end. Wysack at the line. Down and around behind the net to Prexler. Tried to center out in front to absolutely nobody and ends up in the neutral zone. Wysack bangs it back around. Roadrunners able to get most of a change after that puck exited the zone. Brian Parsons in no hurry. And now he starts it up to Federley. Tried to send it all the way across. That was knocked out of the air by a Scarecrow. Tristan Sim in on the forecheck. Wysack couldn't get it through Lockney. Lockney played it to himself off the back of the net. Lockney up high. Parsons across to Sim. Down low, Federley. He walks up top. Federley to the net. And he just missed wide as Rutherford went sliding for it. Up comes Horn. Zach Horn with a free rein and saved by Nusiainen. Some confusion for the Prowlers defenseman as nobody took Zach Horn with the puck. Fisher tried to go out in front and is rescued by Federley. Lucas Lockney couldn't drop it back off for Federley as he was surrounded. Up comes Horn. Going around Bussell. Horn lost his sixth though. And Parsons takes control. Parsons flips it on towards Scantlebury. Couldn't bring it in cleanly. Lockhart puts it deep in Scarecrow's territory. Mullins on it there. Wraps it up the boards. Roadrunners trying to get too many men on the ice call there, but the arms stay down. It's up to Bussell. His shot fought off by Rutherford. Got it with the blocker. Battled for in front of the Scarecrows bench. Now Madot looks up ice. Gives to Davis. Davis over to Murphy. Lost the handle. He's challenged by a couple of Roadrunners. Puck pops up in the air and settled down by Jamie Bussell. He'll go all the way back behind his own net with his team making a change. Bussell starts to work up ice, 7:20 to go in the third. Millette into the offensive end, over towards Thelstrom. That was knocked out of the air. Millette gets it back off the glass. Miettinen kept it away from Johnson. Mullins goes off the window this time and out of the zone, 2-on-1. Here's Zinchenko, fed it over, save Nusiainen on Jawan Davis. Back the other way comes Johnson. He couldn't make a pass cleanly. This puck has been bouncing around all kinds of ways for both sides. Zinchenko couldn't dance back in as the Roadrunners back in numbers that time. Heinzel slows things down. Fresh forwards coming on for the Roadrunners. His pass out of Freezy's reach. Fisher able to dump it back in. And now Federley. I know it's a late night in Port Huron. Thanks so much for sticking up here with us. Fisher to the net. That one got all the way through to the far boards. Madot to the cage. Save Nusiainen. And the rebound couldn't be centered by Rothi. The flip pass by Graham lands on Wysack's stick. And he dumps it back deep. Good push for the Scarecrows over these last few minutes. Trailing by just one. Both games in Danville between these teams, it was well out of hand by this point. But right now, it's a 2-1 game. Outcome certainly far from decided. Sim couldn't dance his way by Mullins. Sim up high to Federley. Slides it down and around. Graham centered, looking to get to Lockney. Didn't get all the way through. Graham with a steal. Puts it out to the slot. Miettinen had his stick lifted. And Federley works up high quickly to the net. And that one got all the way through but wide. Parsons down deep. Graham working on Horn. Graham floats it. Stiles shoots. Glove save by Rutherford as Kenny Stiles came right off the bench all by himself, but Rutherford able to make the save. We will take a quick timeout. Well, we should be taking a quick timeout. This should be our second media timeout, but Paul Jean is deciding that it's not. Paul Jean's decided it's not our second media timeout, so instead they'll have a face-off to Parker Rutherford's right. I believe we still have 2 left. But either way, we'll keep on chugging here in a game that hasn't had too many whistles. Davis dumps this one deep to Prowler territory. Lockhart left it behind the net. Brockway with his head up. Starts up ice, over towards Lockhart. He pokes it along. And now it's on to Scantlebury. Knocked away from him. Stiles backs him up. Wysack spinning away from Tucker Scantlebury. On to Davis. Stiles throws the body into him. Puck at the red line, sets across to Brockway. He fires it in, hit the linesman as he tried to dump it all the way around. Linesman back to his skates. Seems to be all right. Millette in on the forecheck, able to take it from Zinchenko. 2-on-2 scrum now in the half wall. Millette taps it up to Scantlebury. Glove down by Millette, cycles. Frazee rims it all the way around. Heinzel waiting for it, but it got through him. Heinzel couldn't muscle off Zinchenko. Zinchenko had it taken off his stick neatly by Thelstrom. 2 Scarecrows ran into each other, and here comes Thelstrom. Thelstrom all the way around behind the net. Thelstrom and Mullins come together, and Sewardson takes the puck. 3.5 to go. That one took a funny hop off the door. Millette keeps it alive. Sewardson able to dump it out. Zinchenko on for Prexler. Prexler's long-range shot blocked by Adam Heinzel. Sewardson takes a hit from Heinzel as they pin it up along the boards. 3 Roadrunners, 2 Scarecrows in there. Zinchenko coming in to even things up. Zinchenko able to pull it out. Mullins got it deep right back into the scrum and lands on Prexler's tape. Out front, Zinchenko shot, saved by Nusiainen, and the puck ends up out of play. 2:49 left to go in regulation. We will take our timeout here on the PHP Network.
EDA, providing local business support for over 70 years and helping to boost our region's workforce, retain and attract talent, working to grow the local economy and the flow of money into our community to help businesses be profitable and successful. Focused on improving the region's economic strength and quality of life for residents. To learn more about the EDA of St. Clair County, visit edascc.com.
Explore 140 miles of stunning shoreline along Lake Huron in Michigan's Thumb Coast. Begin your adventure on a blanket of golden sand at one of our serene beaches. Connect with the historic atmosphere of our region's nautical influence and reconnect with friends under a blanket of stars. Plan your perfect getaway at bluewater.org.
Back here in Topeka, it's getting down to it. Still a 2-1 game, under 3 minutes to go, and Valtteri Nusiainen has only had to make 4 saves in this third period, but they have been big stops. We'll see if the Roadrunners can pull this one out. We'll keep an eye on Parker Rutherford in the goal down to our right. Off this face-off, it's picked up by Graham. I slide it out to Lockney is to catch up to it, and he does, one-handing it deep. Centering pass, only found Wysack. Out the right wing side is Horn. Horn pushed off by Sim. Puck wrapped around, and Graham able to touch it out of the zone. Wysack sent it back to Madot. Graham in on the forecheck, centering feed, looking for Federley. Madot able to get it. It hit the post as Federley chopped at it. Whistles blow. I believe a hand pass is being called. But Parker Rutherford had to scramble as Graham caused some havoc on the forecheck. Madot got in between the pass to Austin Federley, but it popped up in the air. Federley took a swipe at it, and it ended up hitting the post to Rutherford's left. That close to a big insurance marker for the Roadrunners, but it stays 2-1. Off the face-off, Scantleberry spins, and Bussell able to keep it in and dump it deep. Mullins over to Mettinen. Off the window and out. Jawan Davis trying to split through everybody, couldn't do it. Lockhart hustles after the loose puck. Goes off the boards and out, right to Scantleberry. Has Bussell joining him. Scantleberry on the backhand, centered, but that was behind Bussell as Scantleberry couldn't get it on the first opportunity. And by the time he did get it out there, Bussell was in too deep. He ended up running into the goal along with a Scarecrow. 93 seconds left to go here in period 3 in regulation, and it looks like Steve Esau will take a timeout, and I will take this opportunity to pay our final round of sponsors here on the PHP Network.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rear-view mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
Welcome to McDonald's. How may I help you?
Can I please get a big...
What I need from you is a chicken Big Mac.
A chicken Big Mac? That's not a Big Mac.
Actually, it is.
It's not
a Big Mac.
Chicken Big Mac?
Chicken bag, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, and pickles on a sesame seed bun. Enjoy.
The chicken Big Mac.
It's not a Big Mac.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
We invite you to tune into our next broadcast. That will be tomorrow, Saturday, February the 1st, when these two teams do it again, same time, same place, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. The pregame show starts at 8:15 Eastern. It's all right here on the PHP Network. Up this face-off, Roadrunners trying to get to the net. James just sends it deep. It's James, Johnson, and Millette the line out there for the Roadrunners, trying to lock this one down. Rutherford looking towards the bench as it's dangled in by Murphy. Nusiainen scoops it up, and now Murphy and Brockway getting into it. Millette joins in as well. A little bit more rough stuff here. Everybody will be separated. Rutherford is on the bench. So a 6-on-5 attack for the Topeka Scarecrows, who got oh so close last Friday. A 3-2 loss in a game that they were down 3-0. We'll see if they can get anything going here. The attendance has been officially announced as 3,007 people here in Topeka. Great turnout, and maybe even more tomorrow night, a Saturday night in Topeka. Zinchenko works up the wall. Zinchenko back pass for Davis. Down the boards, Murphy. Murphy couldn't handle it cleanly. Parsons on his backhand, lost it. Here's Brozin trying to fight for the puck. And Davis grabs it in the final minute. One-timer by Murphy. He got nothing on that. Now Davis bounces up high to Mullins, and that one off his stick and out of the zone. Mietinen fires it back across to Davis. Davis long-range strike, gloved down by Nusiainen, and he'll cover it up. With 36.3 seconds left to go. Scarecrows making some changes here. They have Mietinen, Rothy, Horn, Prexler, Sewertson. And now everybody going back to the bench. As the Roadrunners have taken their timeout, can't take it with them, so might as well use it. Steve Eastow drawing something up, looks like over on the Dasher or the Scarecrows bench. Matt Graham giving his team a pep talk over on the Roadrunners bench. 36.3 seconds left to go. You see the fans getting rowdy here behind that Roadrunners bench. Roadrunners just trying to close this one out and not be the team that loses to break the lengthy 26-game losing streak for this Dashers/Scarecrows team. Matt Graham and Zach Horn for the biggest face-off of the night. One back by Horn, but too far in the wrong direction, so Rothy has to go back to play it. Rothy right up the boards to Zinchenko. Has Horn with him. Zinchenko tried to get it across to Prexler, who was trailing the play. That didn't work. Here's Federley with the empty net. He missed it wide. Prexler in the final 13. Mullins up towards Rothy. Bussell got in front of that. Zinchenko enters the offensive zone. Prexler passes it out. Judson comes back to steal it, and that will do it. The Roadrunners survive a 2-1 victory tonight in the first game of the neutral site weekend in Topeka. As the Roadrunners able to take a low-scoring affair despite Parker Rutherford's best efforts. As they announce the 3 stars here tonight. TJ Prexler announced as the 3rd star of the game. Tristan Sim with a couple of helpers. He was announced as the number 2 star tonight. And the number 1 star tonight is Tucker Scantleberry, who scored the game-winning goal. Once again, please do tune in tomorrow night. We'll be back here, same time, same place, for the other neutral site game this weekend as the Roadrunners try and sweep it. We will take a quick break. When we come back, the post-game show, go through all of this one, and we will do it here on the PHP Network.
Seriously, not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com.
back here in Topeka. The Roadrunners / Prowlers come away with a 2-1 win tonight. Time now to go through this one goal by goal. A close one. Completely different from the other games between these two teams when they were playing as the Prowlers and the Dashers in Danville. It took a while in that first period to get the scoring going, but a great patience play from Austin Federley floats a pass across to Lucas Lockney, back in the lineup tonight for the Prowlers / Roadrunners, and Lockney puts it home in his first game since November, since going on the inactive list. And that made it 1-0, but a minute later, TJ Prexler stepped across the Roadrunners blue line, ripped one top shelf, and all of a sudden, it was a 1-1 game. That lasted deep into period number 2. Jamie Bussell blocked a shot at the blue line and sent Tucker Scantleberry on his way. On the breakaway, Scantleberry goes backhand 5-hole, and that is the game-winning goal, 2-1. The Roadrunners win. Prexler, the third star, with a goal. Sim, the second star, with 2 assists. That's Tristan Sim. And Scantleberry, the first star, with 1 goal. Final shots in this one as we take a look at the game stats. Power play goes 1 for 3 for the Roadrunners, although not a 1 for 3 that they would have liked, as they had an opportunity with a 5-minute power play that ended at the end of the second and was on for the first 4.5 minutes of the third. They didn't get much on it. And it stayed a 2-1 game, but they were able to hold out the rest of the way, heavily out shooting the Scarecrows 34-18. Their only power play goal, that Lockney goal, which happened to come on a power play that was a 35-second man advantage. And it just happened to come in that 35 seconds. They didn't really get set up at all on the man advantage much tonight. Once again, your final tonight, 2-1 for the Topeka Roadrunners. When we come back, we will take one last look around the FPHL. All games are final now. I'll give you all the final scores and what it means for the standings, and we'll wrap this one up here on the PHP Network.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
We'll welcome him back here one final time at Landon Arena at Stormont Vale Event Center in Topeka, Kansas. The Roadrunners / Prowlers pick up the 2-1 win over the Scarecrows / Dashers. Time now to go one final time through the out-of-town scoreboard, all games final. And we've already breezed through these blowouts. The Black Bears dominate the Columbus River Dragons 11-4 the final in Binghamton. Hat tricks also dominate as they defeated the Venom 7-2 tonight. So Danbury jumps past Idle Watertown into third place in the Empire Division. And they were 2 points back of the Prowlers. Now they are 5 points back of the Prowlers with the win here tonight. Moccasins defeated the Motor City Rockers 3-2 in a close battle in Fraser. And those are big points in the Continental Division for the Mocs, and that is a tight division over on the other side. Speaking of the other side of our scoreboard here, they've gone final in Athens, and 4-1, the Rock Lobsters defeat the Zydeco tonight, as Orca Weisblatt and Carter Shinkarik each finished with a goal and 2 assists. Josh Rosenswag, 19 saves for the Lobsters. Finally, we already talked about it, but Gus Ford scored the only goal in Wytheville as the Carolina Thunderbirds took care of the Blue Ridge Bobcats 1-0. Boris Babik with the shutout in that one. Once again, one last reminder to tune in tomorrow night. Saturday, February 1st, 8:30 Eastern puck drop. That will be 7:30 local time, but 8:30 Port Huron time. And the pregame show will start about 10-15 minutes before that. And that will be it for the Topeka games this season in the FPHL. The teams that have been representing the Roadrunners have won the first 3. Prowlers will try and make it all 4 tomorrow night. I want to thank the production crew here at Landon Arena in Stormontville Event Center for the use of the cameras and all that fun stuff, and setting us up really nicely here. Great organization from everybody here, and much different from our last neutral site experience. That's going to do it for me. For everybody here in Topeka, I'm Will Wiggleman. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time on the PHP Network.
Thank you.